What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to another 5 games that I loved on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. First up is The Way of the Exploding Fist. Martial arts, karate shenanigans. Ha! Well, this was the first game that I came across that was more than a basic punch kick. This was a little bit more like, oh, you've got a few moves you can do. You do foot sweeps, you can do flying kicks. I mean, you can do roundhouse kicks, block. It was incredible. And it blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. The Way of Exploding Fist. And yeah, I mean, this was the start of a whole phenomena of beat 'em up games, as they became known, I believe, was the genre. But yeah, and I mean, this really did. I mean, it's not I wouldn't say it was the first game, but it certainly spawned loads to come. The likes of international karate and all that, which we'll talk about on a future video. But this really was the bee's knees. So you had a guy, on the spectrum, the guy in black, the guy in grey. I'll also take this quick note to say I will be getting as many original screenshots as I can. I can't promise it, but I'll do my utmost. But yeah, so this is classic, Oriental fighting, the likes that in the former video, the Bruce Lee spawned, the whole kung fu martial arts era. So you got the old wise master sitting in the background, overseeing your fight, and you progress up through the ranks, and it was really, really cool. It was just phenomenal, a phenomenal game, and one which holds many, many dear memories for me. So it's by Melbourne House, and yes, it came out on multiple platforms, but this was an absolute gem. Okay, on to Spy vs. Spy. Now, this is more about the feelings of the time as opposed to the actual game and gameplay itself. Not saying that it's not pushing boundaries or anything. However, excuse me, this was my very first experience of a split-screen game. Now, Spy vs. Spy was all about the two players acting on one screen, obviously both on the computer, and it's like setting traps for each other and leaving bombs and that kind of thing, and all those sorts of shenanigans. It's more of a comedic thing, really. It was just a bit of fun, aren't they all? But yeah, the first sort of player versus player on the same screen at the time. Like I say, my very first experience of a split screen game. So a Spy versus Spy, and this came a bit later into my computer experience, so I didn't come across this game until a little bit later, actually through a friend that had it, and he had it, and then we obviously played each other on this game. And yeah, it was just a bit of a laugh, really. But that's what I remember about this game for the time, was the fun had in like laughing at your friend opening a door, going into a room, and then just having the grenade blow up in his face. It was just hilarious. But that was Spy vs. Spy. On to a real-time waster now, and I mean that in the kindest possible way. This is Quasatron. Quasatron was like a sci-fi robot game where you played a little droid, and you basically went around combating other droids and upgrading your equipment to become better and better and better. It was a simple premise, and it was like a 3D isometric graphical perspective, much along the lines of like Marble Madness and that kind of thing. There was a lot of those. There was just like a spat of those during the day, and so here you have the screen when you connect with another robot, and they would all have like numbers, R3, S7, that kind of thing, and there was like a hierarchy of robots who was, more complex and harder to fight than others. So you started off simple, worked your way around. It was pretty simple, really, really simple. And you come up with these arrows. This was like a mini game, which was, I can't remember the ins and outs of it exactly, but it was kind of fun. You had to light up the most lights by the end of the timeout period, and then you won the battle, and then you were able to sort of take various equipment from said robot. And once that was done, you'd be on your merry way, and it was time to go around and do the same thing again. And it was just brilliant. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was, like I say, a real time waster for me, but I mean that in the fondest possible manner. Quasatron was definitely a game that was worthy of being on this list. I'm glad I did it. It's etched into my memory, and so that's why it's here. Right, next on the list is a game called Spy Hunter, which was again popular across all formats. Now think James Bond, high-tech car gadgets type thing. It's basically a race death game where you're sort of chasing down another car across roads and on water as well, like boats and that as well. And yeah, it's just trying to get as far as you can, and oil slicks, all that kind of good stuff. It's just a classic race slash chase game, but it's very, very heavily popularized during the time of the 80s, and at least from my perspective and in my childhood playgrounds, it was talked about quite a bit. So the graphics were pretty good, and the gameplay, as I recall on the Spectrum, it's quite fast paced. You had to really be on the ball and keep up with it, and yeah, it was more than just a race game, because sometimes the roads would split off into two or really, really narrow down. You'd have to be like really, really ultra careful. I mean, simply bottom to top scrolling, or top to bottom scrolling, however way you want to talk about the algorithm. It's a upwards scrolling game with a car, like with guns and oil slicks and different things like that. And there's not a lot more to be said about this game, really. Just that it was I loaded it a lot, mostly because everybody else did and everybody else talked about it, I suppose. That's one which gives me my love for it. It's more with a lot of these games, it's more about a love of the era and the playground talk that goes along with it. But those are my fond memories of Spy Hunter. So it's hard to know what to end this video on, what game to end with. I know I'm going to have more, but you just want to get them all in, don't you? Anyway, this is Ghostbusters. Wow. What a game. What a time. What a movie. Totally 80s. Total nostalgia nerd fest. Everybody in my school talked about this game as they talked about the movie and the whole phenomena of Ghostbusters itself. It's just so much more than that. So everybody, didn't matter what computer you had, most computers of the type that were able had Ghostbusters on it. So there were many different versions, and graphically, as always, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum does a pretty damn good job of graphics for those 8-bit eras. Really, really good. It was just quite a simple affair, I suppose. You deck out your car and with different things to select what car you want. You travel to the place, then you do your Ghostbusting. That's pretty much it. Really, not a lot more to it than that. But it's just, it was popular because you know, everybody was into it. It was a true classic, in my humble opinion. So that brings me to the end of this video. And a quick question for you: what games did you love on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll check them out. You know, or I might think, oh yeah, I forgot about that game. You know, but yeah, just pop them in there. You know, there's thousands of games to choose from, so you know, just go for it, just go nuts. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will see you on another one. Bye for now. Bye bye.